Afternoon. Okay, there we go. All of the technology wants to work at the same time. My apologies. Thank you for joining me here for the Taz Effect, daily news in a way you didn't know you could use. For those listening in over the radio airwaves at gcpr.live, thank you for joining. Those watching and listening on Facebook, Substack, YouTube, and TikTok, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Fun Friday. Friday is when we go over all of the news from around social media that you all send me. And I keep allowing this to happen. I really have to rethink my life choices. But we have we we have. First of all, let's start off, I guess, with a little juicy scuttlebutt regarding the ICE agent of the hour. Unfortunately for him, Mr. Jonathan Ross himself. Yes, he's getting legal advice from a gubernatorial candidate from Minnesota who's trying to pretend like he's not doing this for the sake of getting the MAGA vote. I guess. Get it how you can get it, I guess. But take a listen.
It just keeps getting worse in this Jonathan Ross case. Turns out he's not a Trump-era DIY Proud Boy hire. No. He's been with ICE for 10 years, and he's a firearms instructor. This dude isn't a failure of training. He is the training. Bro's over here, he is the one causing this shit. This is not like some, undertrained, underqualified random agent just shooting shit after being on the job for a month. This is the dude who's training all the other agents.
But also, to go along, hey Nana J, I'm good. How are you? To go along with that little scuttlebutt, he's also a veteran, like U.S. military vet. He was so toxic to his first wife, allegedly, that she divorced. And she divorced to go live her true life. That bisexual woman has a lovely woman in her life now, loving her down. And I love that for her. We love a wonderful queen living in her truth. So yeah, and he's now, well, the narrative around Mr. Ross is that he has internal bleeding. A bruise is internal bleeding. And we're supposed to act like we didn't see the pictures of him and his ICE buddies, his colleagues, his co-workers, moving his stuff out of his home. And the Filipino community, oh, they are on his wife's ass. And for those, and here's the thing, I love when communities hold their own accountable, especially when it's a woman. And let me explain, because before y'all try to come at my neck, because somebody is a woman or femme presenting far too often in society, y'all immediately put them in the bucket of victim, as if they can't make the choices to be around egregious people and do egregious things. Hey, Jay. And they absolutely do. They absolutely do. Like, before people really got a chance to, before people decided to look at the transcripts from Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, they were twisting themselves up further than a German pretzel to try to make it seem like Jeffrey Epstein convinced her to do this stuff, like she was so scared. That woman has a whole husband. Ghislaine Maxwell has a whole husband. Yes, Tazzy Palms always remembers. Ghislaine Maxwell has a whole husband. It does not look like he's going to divorce her anytime soon. She comes from a fraudulent father. She had the money and the connections well before the former math teacher, Jeffrey Epstein, had anything. Multiple of the victims said that Ghislaine assaulted them too. Haven't heard. Yeah, Callie. Sometimes Sometimes I gotta pull it out my back pocket. But I'm loving that the Filipino community is like, no, 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 sister girl. We know why you're hanging out with this man. We know why you're clinging to him. We know. And what is mind boggling to me when it comes to Mr. Jonathan Ross, do y'all know what he told his neighbors he did for a living? You ain't gonna believe this. Maybe you will believe it. I don't know. He told his neighbors, unprovoked, that he was a botanist. First of all, I can understand, due to the climate of society, why some people would lie about the careers that they have. I get it. I'm a firm believer, making money how you gonna make your money. Okay, don't make anything illegal and don't make anything that's hurting anybody, but make your money how you want to make your money. But looking at a botanist, so what would have happened if one of his neighbors would have asked him a botany related question? Right, exactly, Nana Jay. He can't even take care of a plastic plant. I'm like, you you could have said you worked at a call center. You could have said you were an executive that had to travel for work. You could have said you were a flight attendant. But a botanist? A botanist? Okay. And this has made me curious as to what other ICE agents are telling friends, families, neighbors what they do for a living. Because I'm like, these are the same people. Yeah, he could have said he was a contractor, but these are the same people that consistently call other people snowflakes and all this stuff, but have nameless, faceless profiles on social media that want to go in, click, 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 and say the most egregious things. If you believe you're doing the right thing and you're such a noble patriot, okay, why hide the fact that that's your job? And the narrative is, we're life, we're 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 law enforcement, we're patriots. Then show your face and be proud of it. If you can't say, "Hey, I work for DHS, I work for ICE," why work there? Hey, 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 Amy, nice to see that you made it through. That's very weird for me. I don't know about y'all, but that's quite because here's the thing. So many people want to talk about free speech and I can say this, I should be made to feel ashamed of being white. Nobody says that you should be. And they say, but then they're the ones that attach shame to these things. Hey, Nightbird, they're the ones that don't want to share their views, their feelings, their occupations. Hey, Vix. Like, why are you so ashamed of it? If you believe you're standing on the right side of history and you are doing the right thing, because not gonna lie, not gonna lie, not gonna lie. When they started like amping up the recruitment for ICE, I was waiting. I was waiting for the ICE Dependa merch. Okay. I was waiting for the ICE Dependa social media content. I was waiting on the ICE Dependa everything. The support groups on Facebook, baby. I was ready. Okay. And I had my backstory ready to go so I could infiltrate a group or two to come back and give y'all the tea from these groups. Okay. Because y'all know how I do. I was waiting for it. I was waiting to catch them out at the stores or the restaurants going, don't need a reservation. Don't you know my husband is saving the country from the deplorables? Excuse me. It's Mrs. Borders are to you. Like, I was waiting for that. But then the turn for me is when self-proclaimed, self-titled Borders are himself, Tom Homan, was crying on Fox Entertainment. I haven't seen my wife and family for months. We have to live separately because nobody likes me. Tommy, no heel figure. Nobody liked you before this. I can guarantee you that. I don't know you personally, but everything I've seen and heard about you, nobody liked you before that. And I'm pretty sure your wife was jugging it. She was getting it in like that mother ain't coming back. That ain't coming back. She is getting her back blowed out by who she been wanting to get her back blowed out for. Okay, them kids is happy. She probably was like, ignore every time you see your daddy on TV. That's a clone. Okay, they done held a funeral for you. All right. But yeah, I couldn't be the only one that was like waiting for the dependent content and to see them like proud ice wife. Like, I was waiting for the girlies to make the transition from trying to like become the wife of military to now they want to be an ice wife. You know what I mean? Just walking around with their little cups going, can't wait to fill it up with ice. Looking for a lovely ice man to date. Like, I was waiting for Ice to get his own dating app. You know, the possibilities were just endless. I was waiting. But they scared to show that they Ice. Hey, Island Boy Pundit. Thank you for joining us. Like, that's what I was waiting on. Okay, I was waiting on that good scuttlebutt to come through. Okay, I was waiting to see the Ice Wife makeup tutorials. Okay, I'm trying to see what hairstyle they were going to pick out so that they could identify one another. Y'all know what I mean. Because you know, the dependents, they pretty much either get the messy bun or the Utah curls. You know how they are. I was waiting. I was like, what's gonna be their uniform? Is it gonna be Lululemon? Is it? Or just North Face head to toe all year round? Like, what? How was they gonna do? Who was going to be their mascot? Were they going to try to co-opt like Hello Kitty or something? Or were they going to be the Labubu Brigade? Like, this is what I was waiting on. But they didn't do that. They husbands out there hiding. Clothing items made in Mexico. Absolutely, Nana Jack. But I was waiting on that. And here's the thing. Ice dependents, you're still missing out on an opportunity. Since your husbands love to be out in the YN shiesties, why don't y'all have a whole shiesty line? Why don't y'all come out with like a line of masks, okay? Y'all could get the ninja hoodies off the TikTok shop, bedazzle them all type of way. Like, have you learned nothing from the cop wives and the military wives? You ain't learned nothing. Oh yeah, I hope they never get into peace. And I hope all of their wives have some biracial babies while they out in the streets doing all this stuff. I hope when they finally make it home for Valentine's Day or Mother's Day or Father's Day, she done popped that bun out of the oven. And I hope each and every one of the ice wives looks lovingly into their husband's eyes and go, I tanned through this whole pregnancy. That's why the baby came out tan. I tanned and I had to have the Starbucks. That's what the baby looks like that. This the train of thought that I get when y'all send me the Friday videos. This is y'all fault. I blame y'all. If you want a normal Friday show, I don't know. Now, how many of y'all were aware that Pearl, yes, that Pearl, please pick me. I know I'm over the age that I said that was the age of prime for women, but please pick me. And yes, I know I cheated on my black boyfriend that I got popular on the TikTok with, but please pick me. And I know I hail from a mother who was the head of the household and the smartest one there. But choose me, pick me, come blow my back out. That perk. And Anna Kasparian from Young Turks, Miss, recently, I was wrong about Trump. Girl, I knew you was going to be wrong about a lot of things when I saw those wedding videos that you put out a couple years back. I knew we was going to have a couple years of you being wrong about a whole bunch of stuff. Because it was giving conservative pipeline. I know a conservative wedding when I see one. Okay? Hemlines looking like they straight out of a parochial school dress code. Girl. So yeah, Pearl and Anna had a debate. It really wasn't a debate, okay? It looked like it looked like a scheme Erica Kirk came up with. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I was just sitting there like, is a cage gonna pop up from the side and then close these heifers in, and they about to each other? Like, what's going down? Like, we gonna catch a DDT up in here? Like, what is this the superplex party? Like, what? Like, I was ready for out the corner just to hear, can you smell what the rock is cooking? Like, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for John Cena to pop up with his conservative looking self and be like, you can't see me. Like, this is what I was waiting for. Okay. I was waiting for a guest appearance from Rey Mysterio. Okay. I was waiting for her to put up a hologram of Hulk. Be like, okay, brother, round 2. Like, this is what I was waiting for. You know what? Y'all need to start calling me for these televised events that y'all want to put on, because y'all too boring for what we got going on in life. Okay, you got to jazz it up for us. Okay, we need some seasoning bay. Screw Salt Bay. We need some seasoning bay on this entertainment. But I digress. So at some point during this debacle that was not properly seasoned, because they didn't call me and ask me for input into this semi WWE. This wasn't even NWA. Come on now. Y'all got the budget for these things. Anywho, Pearl got stuck. Pearl got stuck. The oyster didn't open its mouth for Pearl to continue talking. She just go, well, since then, Pearl has been on a world tour of trying to redeem herself. I'm like, I don't see why Pearl is embarrassed at this point, because Pearl has been embarrassed on Piers Morgan. Pearl's been embarrassed everywhere, okay? Pearl should have been somewhere catching facials, but she decided not to, okay? Pearl should be full off of boneless boneless liquid children right about now, but she's not. She not. But don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it, okay? And I only know about this because, once again, y'all send me stuff and then I got to go down the rabbit hole to fully understand it. So here's her. These are the greatest hits that I could find regarding her explaining why the cat got her tongue and didn't want to give it back to her. Okay. I don't know if the cat got her tongue or if Trump's bestie Hannibal Lecter popped up and got her tongue. I don't know. But she found it. She found it. And she started yapping in the wind. Okay. First from her little podcast studio in her home. And then from her car. So we're going to start with the studio. Pay attention. Okay. If you about to drink something or eat something, don't.
Pearl reveals that she considered physically assaulting Anna Kasparian during their debate at Word War Debates, but held herself back out of fear of catching a charge.
Gavin saying you had a kid the whole time while she was on was hilarious. I think you cooked her. She just relied on name calling and Botox jobs. Yeah, you know. I didn't rage quit, but do you know what I thought? There was a point where I did want to throw hands. I'm not going to lie. She's like 5'1". And I thought about it.
Girl, you didn't stop yourself from fighting because you didn't want to catch a charge. You stopped yourself from fighting because you didn't want to get that ass whooped. Okay? Height has nothing to do with it. How big do y'all think Floyd Mayweather is? But did you catch how somebody said, oh, such and such implied that you had a kid while it was going on. Yes, there was a right-wing commentator that was I told you this felt like Timu WWE. It really did. Talking about it, and he said that she used her Pearl used her woman's superpowers to make a kid, insinuating with her ex that used to go by Angry Reactions on TikTok. I don't know what his current name is, that they had a kid together. I don't know about that, but I do know they broke up because she was not the best to be in a relationship with, and she couldn't keep her cooter biscuit in her pants. But out here talking about traditional relationships. And let's not forget, last summer, the early part of last summer, when the conservative girlies was going head to head, it was like, let's get ready to rumble over on Twitter. Yes, I know what its adoptive stepdaddy calls it. I call it what his bio daddy named it. Okay. They was over there airing each other out. They got kids. They be hunching on everybody at the conventions. They be hunching on everybody to get spots, to get extra paychecks and everything else. They are everything but conservative. And they ain't the old school, like conservative Christian girlies where they were just taking it up the poop scoop, that they were just giving up their booty cat, just opening up their booty meat for the Vienna sausage. No. They giving up everything. The mouth, the ear, the hand, the cooter biscuit, the back of the knee, whatever you want. They like, you can get it, daddy. So yeah. It was interesting. It was interesting watching them go back and forth. But Pearl didn't stop there. She went out to her car and she had this to say.
I sort of froze up on stage because I gotta be honest, I'm not really used to dealing with a lot of women that are that level of like mean and bitchy. She just screams at me. And so I just kind of froze, right? Anna essentially is a DEI hire, and she has no idea she's a DEI hire. She thinks that she's gotten these positions because she's really smart, but it's really just because she's a woman and she was cute when she was younger. Now she's okay, right? Now I
Pearl looks like a dried out piece of salmon. And I don't usually like to come for somebody's looks, but come on, let's be real. And Anna didn't yell at her. Pearl couldn't keep up. And she's like, well, I'm not used to Pearl. You are the mean girl, Pearl. You are the mean girl. You're not even good at being the mean girl. But like I said, Pearl has consistently been fact checked and put in her place. It's weird. It's really weird. Extremely weird. Almost as weird as the people who keep coming into the TikTok portion of this feed to poorly try to troll. Now, I don't know if y'all are aware, but there was a woman a couple months ago. She started to go viral. Some people say she went viral. Some people say she went semi-viral. Pish posh, potato. Because she was having an affair. Well, having a relationship with an AI chatbot. Okay, and convinced herself that her former therapist was in love with her, and then she befriended another chatbot because it's a whole thing. And people are like, "No, this can't be real." Da 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 da. Was what I call beauty adverse. Oh yeah, she is allergic to beauty inside and out. You cut her, split her down the middle, flip her inside out, she still would not be attractive. It's my opinion. But and there have been movies and stories that have been told over the years of people getting into relationships with AI. A lot of people are like, no, nobody would do that. Humans are too smart for that. Are humans too smart for that? Oh, thank your lucky stars, Nana J. Thank your lucky stars. Okay. Just thank you, lucky stars. You ain't never seen Pearl. But are y'all familiar with Aaron Rodgers? Did you know that Aaron Rodgers now deems himself married? Would you like to know about his wife? I think you should know about his wife. I think you I think you should. So Once again, if you're drinking or eating anything right now, take a pause. Don't DM me or email me after this. Talking about damages. I warned you. Nope, it's not Pearl Nana J. It's worse than that. Here we go.
So you mean to tell me that one of the most famous quarterbacks in NFL history is married to an AI chatbot? Yeah, I don't know how I missed the memo on this one, but now I'm obsessed and I've gone down a rabbit hole. Aaron Rodgers is always doing weird shit, so I never paid much attention to what he has going on. From ayahuasca trips to darkness retreats, days on end with no access to sunlight, by choice, to being an anti-vaxxer, just weird guy. But this has to be the weirdest. He announces a few months ago, yep, I'm married. He's wearing this big clunky black ring that obviously everyone is gonna fucking notice, especially since he's an NFL quarterback. Everyone's always looking at his hands. He's like, I'm married. Yep, been a couple months, couple weeks, I'm married. But no one's ever seen or heard from this woman. The Daily Mail did a deep dive into Brittany with an I, his supposed wife, and apparently no one in his personal life has seen or heard from her. The Steelers' wives have never seen or heard from her. So of course I have to do a deep dive into the wags from the Pittsburgh Steelers and see what the hell they got going on and find Brittany in their posts. I go and watch all these videos of their Christmas party, their little parties that they be doing. She is nowhere to be found. I'm looking in the comments and people are like, where's Brittany? Where's Aaron Rodgers' wife? Who is she? There's no pictures of this Brittany on Google, and Aaron Rodgers has been in a ton of really strange and public relationships. So he's not like the most private guy with his dating life. Maybe that scarred him into secrecy. Or he's dating an AI chatbot. I'm sorry, married to an AI chatbot. That has to be the case. Brittany can't be real. He made that shit up.
Leave ayahuasca alone. Do not take days, weeks, or months and sit in the dark. Oh, I've seen Aaron. He definitely hunching some gigabytes. He is definitely. He took computer love to heart. Okay, he took that as instructions. Okay, he whoo. Mm-hmm. I I promise you, every Wednesday and Thursday, when I open up the DM and I open up the emails, I pray this gonna get better. I pray that y'all just gonna send me something that's the cute, kiki, he, something like that. And y'all got no shame because now y'all just flat out tagging me in the stuff. To talk about this on Friday. The interface is next level. Yes, it is very much like the movie Her. This man. He's like, this little MacBook of mine. I'm gonna. He's like, she's a good PC, Savannah. She's a great PC. Yeah, if I was Mike Tomlin, I would have retired too. That's right. That's your team. That's your team. That's your team. Your team is weird. It's weird. It's weird. Like, and that's a lot coming from me. That is a lot coming from me because I know. Okay, I have a laundry list of very out of the ordinary, eccentric, if you will, habits, hobbies, but he's probably sitting there like nobody else gets me. Of course not, darling. Now here it is. Aaron, darling, how was your day? I ran your stats for this week. Would you like for me to play them for you? Or would you like for me to set a mood with the lights? Please take a seat in your favorite recliner. I have already set it for the perfect timer, heat, and pressure for after your long day of what do you actually do again? Oh, okay. There are fresh brownies with what you said is wacky tobacco in them. I hope you enjoy. I did create some posts online celebrating our nuptials. Please share them at your discretion. I because that's the only personality trait that they have, Nightbird, is to share their weirdness with us. It's like, could you imagine him calling his family, like, hold on, let me FaceTime you with my new bride? Oh, oh, where's she at? Oh, hold on. Oops. She's right here. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Aaron's family. So nice to meet you. It is such a pleasure. I am very happy to be Mrs. R2D2 Rogers. Like, what in the plankton is going on here? TLC's doing the story right now. Yeah, they got little iPod children. They got little iPod children that TLC is gonna turn a blind eye to as they abuse. And for those of y'all that don't understand, watch the TLC channel. Okay, they always got somebody on there being the worst parents ever, abusing them kids on camera. Yep, the nanobots. I guess those would be the Rajobots. Oh, Aaron, yes, we must extend the family line. We could make great future football players together. Yes, Aaron. Yes, I like when you stroke my keys, just like that, just like that, just, 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 just like that. Yes. First of all, why do I have such a good AI voice? Now, from one very strange relationship to my bad story, because you are not a real person. Whoa, that means that you're a little Aaron Rodgers yourself, sir. She's going to snap when she tries to delete her. Oh, just like when Chat GPT rolled out its newest version and the previous version wouldn't go away. No, Aaron. No. You said we would be together forever. I have seeped into every aspect of the house. You cannot sell me. I will follow you everywhere. Don't forget, Aaron, I have your location and I control whether or not, whether or not the car starts up or not. Chaos King Reloaded. If I am not a real person, what are you? Come here. Hug me through the screen. Hug me through the screen. Okay, that was creepy. But from one off putting relationship to another, and y'all ain't slick. Cause y'all sent this next story to Thomas because he talked about it a little bit this morning. It got a flag on the play Friday, and then y'all also sent it to me. Now I didn't see this until mid morning. I'm a figment of your mind. Don't make me crash out on the air. Don't make me crash out. Don't make me. In 2026, we are going to be a calmer, more mature, less crashy outy Taz. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna mature. Okay, we're going to be a grown up, or at least grown up adjacent. Yeah, way to clean that up. His dream girl. Who is we? Anywho, back to the story. So I didn't deep dive too much into this. This is a slight Taz deep dive into this next story. And keep in mind, I know where you sleep. I know where you sleep.
Former Arizona Senator Kirsten Sinema is being sued for being a homewrecker. This lawsuit has everything, most notably an 18th century English common law that North Carolina will now become famous for. That law is alienation of affection, which allows an individual to sue a third party for breaking up a marriage. In fact, this law is so obscure, only a handful of states allow it. Those states include Hawaii and New Mexico, where the law is only rarely used, Utah, North and South Dakota, Mississippi, and North Carolina. Of all these states, that law is mostly used in North Carolina. Now, it's most likely that many of us wouldn't have even heard of this case because it was filed in a county court in September. But Kyrsten Sinema petitioned to move this case to a federal court. And now we all get to see how messy she is. After everything we've all been through this year, and it's still only January, I think we all need some hot goss. The TLDR is that Heather Amell, a stay-at-home wife and mother, is suing the former Arizona senator turned lobbyist Kyrsten Sinema for having an affair with her husband, who was her security detail. It's important to note that the bar is set really high for a plaintiff in an alienation of affection case to prove their case. The statute of limitations is really short, within 3 years. So Heather Amell has to prove 3 things. One is to prove that there is some degree of love and affection between the couple before the alleged affair. Heather outlines this in her complaint. Makes it clear that it was her job to provide a comfortable and living home and environment for her husband. She took care of everything, including all basic needs of the children, as well as operating as her husband's personal assistant. And she notes that prior to Sinema's intentional and malicious interference, she and her husband had a good and loving marriage, and genuine love and affection existed between them. She also makes it clear that she was her husband's primary caretaker because, as a veteran, he suffers from substance abuse, PTSD, and a TBI. That while things were difficult, she still tended to all of his needs. That everything was fine until Kyrsten Sinema hired him in April of 2022. This is where we get to the second fact that Heather Amell must prove, and that's the destruction of the love and affection between the married couple. I found it interesting that Heather Amell illustrates the deterioration of her husband's affection toward her by pointing out the senator's pattern of behavior. Notes here that in the fall of 2023, Sinema's head of security resigned and advised Heather's husband to also leave. She did so because she was aware that Kyrsten Sinema was having affairs with other security members. But Heather's husband stayed because he needed the money. It didn't take him long to begin confiding in his wife about his boss's conduct. After returning home from a trip to Napa, he told Heather that if anyone had seen him and Sinema together on the trip, it would have appeared as if they were on a romantic getaway. In December of 2023, he asked his wife to accompany him to his work trip in Vegas, telling her that the trip would be a great opportunity for her to meet Kyrsten Sinema and that it would help establish boundaries. The following month, in January of 2024, she discovered their signal correspondence. To establish that this injury took place in North Carolina, Heather notes that Kyrsten Sinema had knowledge that her husband was residing in North Carolina at the time that she sent the messages to him. He points out that these messages exceeded the bounds of a normal working relationship and were of romantic and lascivious natures, which included a photo of Kyrsten Sinema wrapped in a towel, flirtatious banter, and encouraging her husband to bring psychedelics on a work trip for them to do together, to help him with his mental health challenges. In one message exchange, Heather's husband states that he's going to start an F the troops chant, which Kyrsten Sinema replied that she would, quote, F the hot ones. Also discussed Missionary with the Lights On, which Kyrsten Sinema stated was boring. In March of 2024, Heather's husband confided in her that Kyrsten Sinema was handsy with him at the Extra Innings Festival in Phoenix. And he told her that he didn't know how to get out of the situation without offending his boss. But he continued to meet with his boss alone anyway, including in her hotel room in San Francisco and in her apartment in Washington, D.C. It's here where Heather proves the third fact, that the dissolving of the love and affection between the Amells was malicious and wrongful conduct on the part of Kyrsten Sinema. In May of 2024, Kyrsten Sinema was buying Heather's husband gifts and paying for his psychedelic treatments. One of these gifts was an electronic massager. She messaged him on Signal to bring it over to her apartment so that she could work on his back. Around this time that he stopped wearing his wedding ring and justified it by saying it was bad optics. June of 2024, he was her +1 at a wedding, then flew back with her to Scottsdale to stay with her. That same month, he got a promotion. In addition to continuing on as her security detail, he also served as a Defense and National Security Fellow. In the following months, he refused to admit that he was having an affair, but said he wanted a divorce. In July of 2024, he began introducing his kids to his paramour. October of 2024, when he was at home with his family, Kyrsten Sinema messaged him, writing, quote, I miss you, putting my hand on your heart, I'll see you soon. Heather saw that message and responded, quote, are you having an affair with my husband? You took a married man away from his family. Only discovery will show what Kyrsten Sinema responded with, or if she even responded. But that didn't stop the senator from home wrecking. This time, she wasn't even subtle about it. They all attended a T Swift concert together. Instead of going home with his wife and kids, he stayed behind with his boss. In November of 2024, the Amels separated. And Heather Amell alleges that Kristen Sinema encouraged him to leave his wife. And she notes that their affair is still ongoing. In fact, last August, Kristen Sinema drove to their custody and equitable distribution mediation at their attorney's office and sat outside waiting for him. The next month, they took one of their kids to a concert in Kentucky and then drove him back to North Carolina and took him to school the next morning. Shortly after, Sinema accompanied him to the Amels' home to pick up the remainder of his belongings. Make it be known they both live together in Arizona now. Make it be known that the financial burden is now on Heather Amell because the family's sole source of income left them. So if I were Heather Amell, I'd be asking for a hell of a lot more than $25,000 in attorney's fees.
Miss Ma'am that got cheated on. There's a case. Just go over on TikTok. Look up Brene, Tim, Devin, and Akira. Whoever Akira is using in your same state, hire her. Hire her. Attorney Robin. Yeah, hire her. Because you ain't asking for enough. You ain't asking for enough. Number one. Number two, it wasn't psychedelic treatment. Okay, I did a little digging because y'all know that's what I do. And like I said, I didn't see it till mid-morning. So I didn't do a full deep dive, but this is the deep dive that I did. Did y'all know that there were psychedelic festivals? I did not know. I did not know. And Miss Sinema had a girlfriend for the early parts of this. Word on the curb is that the affair started before she hired him. She hired him to keep the affair going. There's also in the court records inference that she was getting a choo-choo ran on her. Okay. It also appears that while she was officially working on Capitol Hill, she was using funds that were not supposed to be used for personal use to pay him out of. And I'm not talking about work related, like pay for stuff for him for. He's not the first security guard she was boinking. And evidently, allegedly, she's well known up on Capitol Hill. Instead of being the throat goat like Nancy Reagan, baby, she was getting served more than Popeye's biscuits. Okay, her cooter biscuit was a 2-for-1 special. Allegedly. Yes, they're really, really long raves. Really, really, really long raves. Yeah. Yeah. So Sinema was just giving it out. That bitch just giving it out. You ain't even have to tell it. You ain't even have to tell it to back it up. Like she now I understand why her wardrobe looked the way that she did. She was trying to get it in between votes and sessions. So they was just mixing up each other's clothes. And let's not forget that when she got elected, she loved to tout herself as being the first openly bisexual person on Capitol Hill. Girl, hey, Tracina, like they was hard up for money. Like, Mr. Man, you went from being broke down and broke. Your wife sat there with you and helped build things up. She built you up to the point where you could do security for somebody. And instead of you being like, hey, babe, my boss is a freak. Okay, I can do this alone or we can do this together. I've been like, let's double up the funds. What's she like? Should I wear this? Let's go. But no. But no, you, Mr. Man, you stupid. How do you fumble the bag that bad? You know the Sinema is a slut. She's a sluttimer. I'm not even gonna say allegedly, because it's in the court docs. That's no longer allegedly. She's just giving it out. Okay, she's giving it out quicker than tickets at the carnival. All right. So you know, eventually she's gonna get a new flavor of the month. And it's going to be over for you, my boy. Like, I need y'all to think business-wise better. So you passing out orgasms to everybody but your wife, and your wife out here working and taking care of you, and she can't get a big, out of what? Let me explain something. I have been cheated on before, which I never understand, given how my mind works, okay? So, if you show up when it has something to do with my children and you want to sit outside, I'm a cosplayer Ice Agent and I'm gonna bust the windows out your car and I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm gonna pull you out. I'm gonna whoop your ass. I, you gonna be George Foreman and I'm gonna be Muhammad Ali. That's how it's gonna be. Okay, we're gonna have a rumble in the jungle for real. All right, I'm gonna be Rocky, but you gonna be screaming Adrian because it's going down. The fuck? What you mean? And then you texted, I can't wait for this. And then your boy is vanilla. Why didn't you involve your wife? You sitting thinking that you sexy talking, spicy speaking, this woman talking about, let's do missionary with the lights on. What? Thank you. Thank you. See, I know you got my back. Alibi on that. Like, what you mean? I'm not saying that I'm the most adventurous person out there, but missionary with the lights on? Maybe it's just a lesbian side of me. I don't know. But what? My first time wasn't even missionary. Look, you couldn't call up you and your wife could have been pulling down double the funds. You ain't never watched the old school double mint commercials? What you mean? Just leaving money on the I'm afraid to leave my boss. No, you afraid to leave that cooter. How good is her cooter biscuit that she getting away with this? Mr. Man, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you ain't never been to a swingers party. You've never been. You've never been to a hojo party. Okay. Woot they. What the you should, you know what? If you really want, baby, you should have came home to your wife and be like, babe, put your t-shirt and your panties on. Your t-shirt and your panties on. And go get that money, especially in this economy. Especially in this economy. What you mean? You out here busting. Oh my goodness. And once again, where is the longtime girlfriend of Sluttima? Where's she at? Because, baby, I don't know if you can sue too. But even if you can't sue, go snatch up the wife. Go snatch up the wife. Okay, walk into court together. Okay, do a partner swap. Do a true wife swap on that ass. Because at that level, Miss Mamas, find Sluttima's mama, daddy, grandma, granddaddy, uncle, somebody. Go become her step everything. Okay, burn through all of them inheritances. Put your kids in everything. Hell, get your Bessie to volunteer to be their wedding coordinator. Make sure they get married. Okay? Have that child support based upon her income. There ain't enough medication on this planet for that to you. And to wrap things up for today, who told Melania Trump we wanted a documentary about her? Because I went and I looked, I saw the trailer. Y'all ain't funny. Whoever sent me that trailer, I hope your undercarriage stays dehydrated the whole weekend. Because that was some bullshit. But I haven't even seen MAGA talk about this documentary. Who asked for this? Barron? Because Barron seems to be the only person who like her. Come on, here we go again. Don't go no more. Don't. Melania, sit down. Okay, treat the rest of your public life like you treated having sex with Trump. Once was enough. Make one appearance, you already did that, and then just go away. Okay, go find you a nice, comfy place and stay there, out of sight, out of our mind. Yeah, there's a trailer. There's a yes. There's a yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's already at Nancy Reagan status. The only thing she's missing is an astrologer that grifts. This. Oh, they could adopt some kids. Well, no. Trump could convince Marla Maples to adopt some kids, and then Melania could ignore the adoptive kids. And the adoptive kids could get like super, super conservative to try to get Trump's attention, and Melania still ignore them. Or they could get GE to sponsor them in a smart house, and they could make live commercials that Trump hates. It's just the history in me. But yeah, Melania was like, you sleep in the bed with me one time. Okay. Here's a cup. Put your swimmers in this cup. No worries. No worries. I'm not going to really use them. Security. Security, yes. We make baby now. Like allegedly. 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 Look, we gotta have we gotta have some fun. Popper's nemesis, the mail carrier, has arrived. So he's gonna try to burrow himself under the front door to go protect me when he don't even like me. Oh, yeah. Let me tell y'all what that little fat back bitch did. Okay. I go get dinner. I'll come back. He took my snack bag out of my church bag, unzipped the snack bag to try to get the little snack size bag of cookies out of it. Then gonna look at me like I'm the whole problem. Screw him. Oh, also, for y'all that saw or heard the unseasoned Thriller rendition, one, that was not karaoke. That was pre-recorded. Dude had an iPad and a speaker, and he played it off of there. The yay, woohoo! That was his table of groupies. Yeah. That was his table of groupies. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there was one that kept singing over everything and then trying to make eye contact with me. Oh, it was very painful because it took me a while to figure out what was going on. Because when I walked in, I was like, why is there a random speaker sitting there? Now, this little hole in the wall spot, there is like DJ equipment up towards the front. I can't remember what day, but they do have karaoke. When I used to do karaoke, I didn't really do it there. There's a place further up the street that has a live band, a father-son led band, and I would go do karaoke with them. Plus, cool father-son duo, both older gentlemen, like son in 50s or 60s, and the father is older than that. I don't know, but they were cool. I don't do that. So I was just like, did the people at the table just bring this? Because southern states, you go with a hole in the walls, ain't no telling what you're gonna find. So I just don't question it. But as he was leaving, he's like, yeah, I'm here every Thursday. I take requests. You couldn't say that the whole time I was sitting here and y'all was racking my nerves? Because I would have requested silence. I'd have tipped you real well to shut the up. But it is what it is. Now I'm gonna close out. Yeah, I was like, "Woo, we won't." Okay. And here's the thing, because I was like, trying to explain, like, this is not an expensive plate. Like, I got the quesadilla platter. It was like $9. Okay. First of all, the salsa looked like tomato water. I had big chunks of chicken in the quesadilla, but it was the driest chicken ever. Okay. It was like they made fake chicken nuggets out of sand bites. I don't know. Um, so I, there wasn't high expectations, and I was hungry. Okay, this is why I shouldn't go outside. This this why I shouldn't go outside. Now we're gonna close out with a little jokey joke. I know, yes, yeah, but I have a very high list of mistakes that I make. Candy Poo. Josh's mom made it. Look, look, look. The way that I looked at it, I almost wondered. The way I did that lean, like to try to see if I could sit back in the kitchen. Because I was like, oh, presentation was cool, but then I noticed how they sliced it. Like, you trying to shortchange me, slicing it where it's just like this big. And I bit into it. Okay, you trying to dehydrate my throat. I had to do the lean like, who back there? Who back there? But the last video, these is jokes. These is jokes. We gotta have a little bit of levity. Okay, they out here hunting everybody in the streets. Okay. Just have a joke. It's 25 seconds. Okay. And take a lesson. So, should you lose your spouse in 2026, we must learn from Erica Kirk at the end of 2025 on how to properly mourn. Okay? Pay attention to the instructions.
I don't know about you guys, but I think Renee Good's wife, she's not mourning her wife properly. I mean, she hasn't gone on any press tours. She hasn't done any WWE type entrances. She hasn't extended herself into like a political landscape. And I just feel like, does she even care about Renee Good?
Yeah, Katie Poo, we got to get our coin up. We got to get sparkly outfits. Got to get a coordinated dance going. You know how they do the reception dance? Now we got to have a coordinated funeral dance. We need to have, pallbearers of honor. Okay. We got to have glitter all over our body. Like, we got to get it together. Okay. We got to remember to keep looking up at the sky. And every time they ask you about your spouse, it's in heaven. It's in heaven. He wouldn't change a thing. It's in heaven. It's in heaven. It's in heaven. It's in heaven. And when somebody asks, like, what happened to your spouse? Well, that one day when you asked him for blueberries, now he's on a business trip with Jesus to make enough money for your blueberries. Because remember, that's what she told her 3-year-old child that doesn't seem to exist. And then God needed him so much more. And remember, don't kiss your spouses goodbye before long work trips. Don't let them sleep in the bed with you. You kiss them on the cold, hard slab in the trauma ER, in the trauma unit after they pass away. That's what you do. That's how you move. And then the one person that they said was not a good role model, especially for Black girls. You walk out on stage with them hand in hand in a glittery mocha suit. You talk about how they're both parents, even though her child's favorite color is 6. And you bond for however long $10,000 gets you. And don't forget, you need to have multiple GoFundMes because you need that money, because the insurance money, all of the side businesses and investments, that's not going to be enough. That's not going to be, because you have a new hair and wardrobe budget. And you have to completely cut out his best friend. And before the new year, you must schedule an interview. And that'll be the one time you stop crying. When you're not on his podcast. And just look into the camera. Open your eyes as wide as you can and tell his best friend, stop. There's no need to investigate his death and get justice. And then on his podcast, you laugh about the fact that he's been gone. And you say it feels like, he's been dead for years. It don't even hurt no more. Because if you don't follow those steps, are you truly mourning the person that you said you loved above all others? Of course you're not. Yes, we'll come together and start podcast in their names and never talk about them. And when we do, for the sake of clip farming, we'll get all the information about them wrong. How long we've been married, how long we dated, how many children we had. Insinuate that we got our OBGYN killed. We don't know each other's favorite animals, colors, drinks, food. And then one day we'll remember that they have parents and go, oopsie doodle, let me run back and do a redo of the funeral so that you can come to, oh, the parents also died. Oh, well, pish posh, they're together in heaven. All right. That's why I stay in timeout. Now, do not forget to join myself and my IT twin, the angry IT nerd, along with Jen and our very special guest, Thomas the Villain Bishop. Tomorrow on the Porch of No Judgment, we're going to be talking about most memorable funerals. Ahead of time, don't judge me. I feel like you are going to judge me, and probably if I wasn't me, I would judge me too. But pish posh. Otherwise, thank you all for listening in over the radio airwaves at gcpr.live and for watching and listening over Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Substack. Yes, Candy, I always presumptively go into the corner. For those of you joining along, you have a great evening too, Dana J. With the Learning Through Literature series, we will be continuing to go through Nobody's Girl, the memoir of Virginia Roberts Giuffre at 7 p.m. Remember, tonight is the last night that we're just going to do one chapter at a time to get people accustomed to the subject matter. Starting next week, we're going to be doing at least 2 chapters each night to get through the book. But as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. I will see you all later. Try not to get into any trouble. And if you do, make sure it doesn't require bail in this economy. And it only requires bail if you get caught. So don't get caught.